Hello, sweet, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Divine Alignment. I believe that today's episode may be one of the most challenging episodes. However, I also believe that this episode has the capacity to completely transform and change your life. If, of course, you choose it to, which I would just invite you. If you are seeking change in your life, whatever area you desire, set that intention right now, because this key, this code, this message, it has truly the potential to change absolutely everything. So let's dive right in. All right, so I have been sharing more channeled messages on Instagram, which if you haven't checked them out or seen them, I highly recommend you do so. So many messages have been coming through, and I just have been really feeling called to share more of them on Instagram as well. So the message that I shared today is actually what inspired this podcast and video, because not only is this something I'm going through in my life, but I see it in many others, and I see it collectively. And I believe that this truly, I'll speak for myself. It was the missing piece. It has been the missing piece. It has been the missing piece. And this goes for whatever you're truly desiring to create, whether it is health, wealth, and abundance, calling in that perfect relationship, whatever it is, finding your purpose, living your purpose. We have to begin. We have to begin by first accepting where we are. We have to first accept where we are. And this is not, I know you've heard this before. I know this is not like new wisdom for you. I know that. But my hope today is that I can frame this and put this in a different context for you to really understand this, rather understand this in a way that truly sets you free. Because that's what it has the capacity to do. And that's what I'm witnessing for myself. And what a better time to talk about this with the new year and creating goals, and all of these things are really exciting. But we also first have to seek closure and accept where we are. I don't believe that we can really create whatever we desire unless we do these first. So I'll share for myself, because I think that dreaming of what we desire is a really fun place to be. It's that really playful energy of like dreaming up anything we can desire, whether that's having the perfect health, feeling so good in our body, having that loving relationship, and that intimacy, that depth of connection, or having that wealth and abundance, and what it feels so good to feel so financially abundant and having more money than we can spend and even know what to do with. All of these things, they feel really good to dream and just close our eyes and envision and imagine all of these scenarios and circumstances. And I think that a lot of like the self-help and personal development and manifestation, law of attraction, that's what they preach and talk about. Like, get into the feeling and visualize it. It's so important. It's so important. And I believe a lot of people aren't dreaming enough. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do. But how do we know where to go? How can we possibly know where to go if we haven't first fully seen, fully recognized, and fully accepted where we are at right now? Because until we understand where we are at right now in this moment, everything, not just what you are trying to create, because everything influences everything. So, I say your health, your wealth, your relationships, whatever it is, all of these things influence each other. So looking at everything, how are they? Because they're all mirroring each other, and accepting it. I'm going to read you the channeled message because while I posted it, Instagram algorithms and all of that, and I do believe that there is a different potency. We're all different learners, whether you're audio or visual, whatever type of learner you are. This is going to help if you are an auditory learner, which if you're listening to this, watching this, my guess is that you like to learn through listening. So I'm going to share this message. And as I always preface with channeled messages, with all information you consume, truly take what resonates and whatever doesn't is fine. And also, it is the vibration of the words, the frequency of the words. So they shared, feel into your truth, your aligned truth, your desired truth, your honest truth. You see, most people are not honest with themselves and where they are really at. Honesty with yourself is what sets you free. For it is not until you truly see, feel, and witness the gravity and presence of where you are can you truly evolve. Yes, we encourage holding the vision, but the vision comes into clarity when you can see where you are now. You cannot fake positivity. You cannot trick the universe. Thus, authenticity and honesty of where you are at, what you are feeling, and what you are experiencing in this current moment is crucial in the creation process. There is nothing wrong with where you are at now. Absolutely nothing. All that you have created now is actually perfect, the perfect jumping off point to your desires. Can you trust this? For your desires are given to you, not to make you sad that they aren't here, but to show you and inspire you of what is truly possible for you. So where you're at now is perfect. It is perfect for what you desire to create and who you desire to become. And once you allow the fullness of this present reality, the fullness and perfection of what you perceive your problems of in the now, only once this is realized can you begin to create. Take a deep breath. Witness this current reality. Be in this current reality. And now you have completed the most important step in creating your desired reality. And so I just invite you to breathe in those words and that frequency and that transmission, because there's so much here. There's so much available for you. And I want you to have the best next year, next 5 years, next 10 years life. But it really does begin with getting clear on where you're at. So I want to also share that when we see where we're at and fully accept it, fully recognize that in this present moment, you actually have all that you need to create your dreams. I know that sounds crazy to the mind that's thinking, no, like I'm not there. Of course, I don't have everything I need. I need this and this and this and this and this. And right, like this is what our mind does. And it does it to protect us. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So thank your mind. But it is not going to get you to where you want to go. Because until we see where we're at now, we actually have no idea how to get to where we want to go. Because if we're just visualizing we're already there, then how are we going to create the steps to get there? How are we going to create the steps to get there if we have no idea where we're at and if we haven't fully accepted? Because if there's a problem that you are facing right now in your reality, it is the universe lovingly giving you an opportunity to heal and look at something. I also recently shared a channel message on this on my Instagram, which I highly recommend you go and read as well, because they shared how where you're at right now, whatever problems like that you are given, you're going to be continue to give them until you see the pearl within it, is what they called it, the pearl within it. There's a pearl within every problem that we experience. There's a gift, an experience, a lesson, a learning. I'm sure right now you can think back to one of the hardest times in your life. Don't think of something present. Think of something you've already overcome. Think back to that. And can you see now how much you learned, who you became? So many people are asking for strength, for courage, for wisdom, for guidance, for expansion, for whatever it is. And if you're asking for these things, you're going to be given opportunities to cultivate this energy within you. Many of these things, courage, strength, wisdom, expansion, growth, stepping into your purpose, whatever it is, these don't just like, it's not like you just say, I want it, and it's like, download it in. There is, I think, an element of that of course is possible. But what's most likely to happen is you are going to be given an experience so that you can bring that energy into the body, bringing it into the body so that you fully experience, because there's a difference between it just dropping in and you becoming it, and between you experiencing things in which you become the person through the experience. I think both can probably happen. Both actually could definitely happen. But part of this 3D experience that we signed up for here on Earth is overcoming challenges. Okay. And so if you are in a space right now of overcoming a challenge, my invitation, the invitation here, you can do whatever you want. But if you're listening, I know that you are dedicated to your growth. And so the invitation is to fully accept, honor, with such deep reverence, gratitude, and even begin to accept and embrace where you're at. If you're trying to push it away, it's only going to get closer and closer, because that which we resist persists, right? We know this. I know you know all of these things, but my hope is that it lands differently. And I think there's an element of experiencing this within the body. I know for myself, I'm going to share that what really helped, I think, for me, I have a hard time crying, like by myself. I don't know what it is. I want to be able to cry by myself more because it is so therapeutic and releasing. And the other day, I'm like having a day where this is what inspired a lot of this message, having a day, and I was on the verge of tears all day long. And it wasn't until I got on the phone with a dear friend who asked what's going on, and just start crying. I just start crying. And today, this actually happened yesterday. Today, I feel so much better. Now, has much changed in like not even 24 hours? Has much changed? No. But I released it from the body. I released that pent up energy. And so there is a somatic element to all of this too, in accepting where you're at. And so whether it is like crying, whether it is screaming, I'm just going to say do not feel any shame in releasing if it is in the form of anger. It doesn't have to be towards someone else. In fact, do it in a safe way so that it doesn't happen to someone else. Whether it is screaming into a pillow in your car, I like to go to the beach where there's no one and scream. And it's not because I'm angry. It's because I know that our bodies need to release. Our bodies are designed to release energy. We have to dispel energy in order to think clearly and see clearly. Okay. If you're like holding it all in there, you're gonna, it's too much information overload, right? And you're not going to know where to go because you haven't been able to really, you're going to be too fogged with all of this energy. And so, there's daily things too, just like lymphatic drainage and exercising, like, all of these things that we have to do to move our lymph and get the body moving. So there is a somatic element, massage, right? Acupuncture. There is an element of release that needs to take place, I believe, and that can take place for you to fully be able to accept and embrace where you're at. And for me, after the good cry that I had, I really don't cry often. And so when I do, I'm like, oh, that felt so good. That felt so good. It's part of the experience. If you're not crying, if you're not feeling, that would be something to be more concerning. I thought that for a long time it was weak, or I must not be in alignment. But again, this is part of the accepting where we're at. Accepting where we're at, embracing it, thanking it. Because as I was in that really dark space of feeling like so down and defeated, I also saw that glimmer of course, this is happening for a reason. Of course, my next level is on the other side of this. Of course, I'm being given this to overcome because I asked. Because I asked for expansion. Because I asked for growth. Because I asked to live my soul's greatest truth. I asked. And so the universe is going to give that to me. Of course, it's going to give it to me. Of course, God wants to give that to me. But it's not always wrapped in a pretty shiny box. A nice present under the tree. Of course, it's a beautiful gift, but the process of unwrapping the gift can sometimes be a little bit messy, and you can get a paper cut, and all these things can happen when you're opening your gift. But once you open the gift, once you see the magic and the beauty, you'll be so grateful for all that you overcame. So if you can embrace where you're at right now and see that it's all happening for a reason. Of course, it's happening for a reason. And that what you are being given right now is truly exactly what you need to create this next level for you. It's exactly what you need to get to your dreams and desires. And so embrace it and really like sit with it. Sit with it. And like I said, this isn't the fun part of creation and life. Sometimes is seeing like, oh, this is where I'm at. This is what I've created. Taking responsibility for what you've created. It's okay. You're a human. You're not perfect. It's okay if you created debt or a relationship that fell apart or a body that's not functioning the way you want it. It's okay. You're not perfect. But the good news is that if you created that, you also get to create what you desire. And that's the best news ever, because it means that your power doesn't lie in anything or anyone else. You don't have to go ask someone else. You get to create it. You get to heal it. You get to be it. You get to become it. Whatever that it is for you. Maybe it's all of them. Who knows? But if you fully surrender to the experience that you're in, release it somatically, releasing it through the body. And if this feels scary to you, I really recommend you work with someone, because, and that's okay. There's no weakness in this. There's no weakness in this. Reaching out to a friend or someone who can help guide you in this, like myself, or someone else who is in the field of healing, who can guide you through to help you release these. We all need help. We all need help. And you're also very strong. And once you receive that help, you can create the life you love. That I know. That I truly know. And so if you can do this, if we can do this, we're all supposed to do this. It's part of the process, part of the journey. Embracing where we're at so that we can truly create what we desire. That is my hope. That is my intention. And so with that, let me know you're listening in the comments below. Let me know your takeaway. And until next time, I am sending you all infinite love and light.